Mr. Leopold Bloom, ancient relish the
Radio, Bloomsday.
I'll just give him one more chance.
I'll get up early in the morning.
I'm sick of Cohen's old bed.
In any case, I might go over to the markets to see all the vegetables and cabbages and tomatoes and carrots and all kinds of splendid fruits, all coming in lovely and fresh. Who knows who'd be the first man I'd meet? They're out looking for it in the morning, Mamie Dillon used to say.
They are. And the night, too.
That was her mass going.
I'd love a big juicy pear now, to melt in your mouth like when I used to be in the Longan Way.
Then I'll throw him up his eggs and tea in the moustache cup she gave him to make his mouth bigger. I suppose he'd like my nice cream, too.
I know what I'll do. I'll go about rather gay. Not too much. Singing a bit, now and then. Then I'll start dressing myself to go out. I'll put on my best shift and drawers. Let him have a good eyeful out of that.
To make his Mickey stand for him.
I'll let him know if that's what he wanted. That his wife is fucked, yes, and damn well fucked too. Up to my neck nearly. Not by him. 5 or 6 times, hand running.
There's the mark of his spunk on the clean sheet.
I wouldn't bother to even iron it out.
That ought to satisfy him.
If you don't believe me, feel my belly. Unless I made him stand there and put him into me. I've a mind to tell him every scrap and make him do it out in front of me.
Serve him right. It's all his own fault if I am an adulteress, as the thing in the gallery says.
Oh, much about it. If that's all the harm ever we did in this vale of tears.
God knows it's not much. Doesn't everybody?
Only they hide it.
I suppose that's what a woman is supposed to be there for. Or he wouldn't have made us the way he did, so attractive to men.
Then if he wants to kiss my bottom, I'll drag open my drawers and bulge it right out in his face as large as life. He can stick his tongue 7 miles up my hole as he's there.
My brown part.
Then I'll tell him I want £1, or perhaps 30 shilling. I'll tell him I want to buy underclothes. Then if he gives me that, well, he won't be too bad. I don't want to soak it all out of him, like other women do.
I could have often written out a fine cheque for myself and write his name on it for a couple of pounds. A few times he forgot to lock it up. Besides, he won't spend it.
I'll let him do it off on me behind.
Provided he doesn't smear all my good drawers. Oh, I suppose that can't be helped.
I'll do the indifferent. 1 or 2 questions. I'll know by the answers.
When he's like that, he can't keep a thing back. I know every turn in him.
I'll tighten my bottom well and let out a few smutty words. Smell romper, lick my shit, or the first mad thing comes into my head. Then I'll suggest about, yes, oh,
wait,
now Sonny, my turn is coming.
coming.
I'll be quite gay and friendly over it.
Oh, but I was forgetting this bloody pest of a thing. You wouldn't know which to laugh or cry. We're such a mixture of plum and apple.
No, I'll have to wear the old things.
So much the better. It'll be more pointed. He'll never know whether he did it or not.
There, that's good enough for you.
Any old thing at all.
Then I'll wipe him off me just like a business.
His omission.
Then I'll go out.
I'll have him eyeing up at the ceiling. Where is she gone now?
Make him want me. That's the only way.
1:15. What an unearthly hour. I suppose they're just getting up in China now, combing out their pigtails for the day. We'll soon have the nuns ringing the Angelus. They've nobody coming in to spoil their sleep.
Except an odd priest or two for his night office.
Or the alarm clock next door at cockshout, clattering the brains out of itself.
Let me see if I can doze off.
1,
What kind of flowers are those they
2,
invented? Like the stars.
3.
The wallpaper in Lombard
4.
Street was much nicer.
5.
The apron he gave me was like that.
Something.
Only I wore it twice.
Better lower this lamp and try again, so as I can get up early.
I'll go to Lamb's there, beside Finlayter's, and get them to send us some flowers to push about the place, in case he brings them home tomorrow. Today, I mean.
No. Friday's an unlucky day.
First I want to do the place up some way.
The dust grows in it, I think, while I'm asleep.
Then we can have music and cigarettes. I can accompany him first.
I must clean the keys of the piano with milk.
What'll I wear?
Shall I wear a white rose?
Or those fairy cakes in Lipton's?
I love the smell of a rich big shop.
At 7 pence a pound. Or the other ones, with the cherries in them and the pinky sugar. 11 pence. A couple of pounds of those.
A nice plant for the middle of the table. I'd get that cheaper in... Wait, where's this? I saw them not long ago.
I love flowers. I'd love to have the whole place swimming in roses.
God of heaven, there's nothing like nature.
The wild mountains, then the sea, and the waves rushing, then the beautiful country with the fields of oats and wheat.
And all kinds of things.
And all the fine cattle going about.
That would do your heart good to see.
Rivers and lakes and flowers, all sorts of shapes and smells and colours, springing up even out of the ditches, primroses and violets.
Nature it is.
As for them saying there's no God,
I wouldn't give a snap of my 2 fingers for all their learning.
why don't they go and create something? I often asked them.
Atheists, or whatever they call themselves, go and wash the cobbles off themselves first.
Then they go howling for the priest, and they dying. And why? Why?
Because they're afraid of hell, on account of their bad conscience. Ah, yes, I know them well.
Who was the first person in the universe before there was anybody that made it all?
Who?
Ah, that they don't know.
Neither do I, so there you are.
They might as well try to stop the sun from rising tomorrow. The sun shines for you, he said. The day we were lying among the rhododendrons on Howth Head.
In the grey tweed suit and his straw hat.
The day I got him to propose to me.
Yes.
First I gave him a bit of seed cake out of my mouth.
And it was leap year, like now.
Yes.
16 years ago, my God.
After that long kiss, I near lost my breath.
Yes.
He said I was a flower of the mountain.
Yes.
So we are all flowers. A woman's body.
Yes. That was one true thing he said in his life. And the sun shines for you today.
Yes.
That was why I liked him. Because I saw he understood or felt what a woman is.
And I knew I could always get round him. And I gave him all the pleasure I could.
Leading him on till he asked me to say yes.
And I wouldn't answer first, only looked out over the sea and the sky. I was thinking of so many things he didn't know of. Mulvey and Mr. Stanhope and Hester and Father and old Captain Groves and the sailors playing.
All birds fly and I say stoop.
And washing up dishes, they called it on the pier.
And the sentry in front of the governor's house.
With the thing round his white helmet.
Poor devil, half roasted.
And the Spanish girls laughing in their shawls and their tall combs.
And the auctions in the morning.
The Greeks.
And the Jews.
And the Arabs.
And the devil knows who else.
From all the ends of Europe.
And Duke Street.
And the fowl market, all clucking outside Larby Sharon's. And the poor donkeys, slipping half asleep.
And the vague fellas in the cloaks asleep in the shade on the steps.
And the big wheels of the carts of the bulls.
And the old castle thousands of years old.
Yes!
And those handsome Moors all in white and turbans like kings.
Asking you to sit down in their little bit of a shop.
And Rhonda, with the old windows of the posadas,
2 glancing eyes, a lattice hid,
for her lover to kiss the iron.
And the wine shops, half open at night.
And the castanets.
And the night we missed the boat at Algeciras.
The watchman going about, serene with his lamp.
And oh, that awful deep down torrent, oh!
And the sea, crimson sometimes like fire.
And the glorious sunsets, and the fig trees in the Alameda gardens.
Yes. And all the queer little streets. And the pink and blue and yellow houses.
And the rose gardens.
And the
jessamine and geranium and cactuses.
And Gibraltar as a girl, where
I was a flower of the mountain.
Yes!
When I put the rose in my hair, like the Andalusian girls used.
Or shall I wear a red?
Yes.
And how he kissed me under the Moorish wall.
And I thought, well, as well him as another.
And then I asked him with my eyes to ask again.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he asked me, would I? Yes. To say yes, my mountain flower. And first I put my arms around him.
Yes. And drew him down to me so he could feel my breasts all perfume. Yes.
And his heart was going like mad. And yes, I said yes, I will, yes.
You have just heard the Galway-born Irish-American actress Caraid O'Brien and the Bronx-born half-Irish actress Bernadette Quigley perform the complete soliloquy of Molly Bloom. This concludes Radio Bloomsday 2013 In Search of a Father and our celebration of the genius of James Joyce. Thank you for listening. I'm Janet Coleman, host and producer, speaking on behalf of Caraid O'Brien, writer-director, John Almella, technical director, Paul Ruest, production supervisor and engineer, and his assistant Lillian Terry Walsh, and our production team here at Argo Studios in New York, Aaron Bell,